A lot of times when it comes to forgiveness, you could mentally forgive somebody for what they have done to you. Honestly, you could mentally forgive somebody for what they have done. Like, that looks like you accepting what has happened, no matter how, even how disgusting and horrible it is. Like, I mean, like your family members, friends, old lovers, just people that have caused you pain, people that have caused you trauma, no matter how horrific it was, people that have abused you any type of way. Hello, how are you? What has happened is, you can look at those situations that from your past when people have hurt you. You can accept it for what it was. You can accept, like, wow, this was some crazy mess. This was a lot. This was painful. This was traumatic. I do not like how I was treated. I do not like what they did. I do not like what they said. You don't have to like what they've done. You don't have to. You can listen. I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I'm just jumping all over the place. But listen, when you look back at your situations and you look back at those traumatic incidences, forgiveness is when you accept the totality of what has happened, plus all of the emotions that comes with it. So if these people did some stuff to you and it caused you hurt, it caused you pain, it caused you trauma, it caused you embarrassment, whatever it could have caused you, accepting what happened and accepting everything that comes with it, all of the emotion that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, a lot of times we think that, sometimes we have this misconception of forgiveness where we think we have to be okay with what someone did. You don't have to be okay with what people have done to you. You can accept it, but you don't have to appreciate it. Like, I accept that this person did this to me because I can't go back and change it. That was your choice. That is what happened. I can accept what happened, but I don't have to be okay with it. I don't have to like what they've done. I don't even have to like them, right? And a lot of times what happens is when you look into a situation and you begin to forgive these people, a way that you can forgive is, one, to accept what has happened to you. Another thing is for you to place yourself in this other person's shoes and to think, what was this person going through that led them up to do what they did to me? And when you can kind of backtrack and look at what they have done, like what they have gone through, their childhood traumas, their upbringing, you can kind of see, the type of turmoil and trauma that they have been through and why they projected all of that energy onto you, right? You can see all of that. And what happens is when you can empathize with your abuser and you can see, like, I can see that this person has come from such a troubled, dysfunctional home. I can see why they were so mean to all these other people, because, like, all of the energy that they had towards their mother, they took it out on every woman that came across their life. You know what I'm saying? I can see that. You're empathizing with them. And what this does is you are now raising your consciousness. You're now raising your vibration. You're now raising your awareness, because you're not seeing it just in the middle of it, through all of this pain. You stepped out of the pain. You now have stuff. Look up. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I almost fell, y'all. Stepped on my road. So now, when you're at this position and you're looking at the situation from a higher perspective and you're looking at the totality of everything, the situation, you can see how everybody has played a role. You can see, like, all of this, right? You can gain an understanding of a situation, and mentally you can forgive people that way. But oftentimes we think, if I've really forgiven these people, why do I feel pain? Why do I feel hurt? Why do I still feel anger towards these people? Why do I still feel like I'm holding resentment towards these people? Why do I still feel angry towards them? Even though, like, even though I know I've forgiven them. Because how do you know you've truly forgiven somebody? If you were to run into those people, or if those people were to be presented into your life in front of you right there, and you had the opportunity to do whatever you wanted to them, even if that meant you could do what they did to you, if you decided to not take it and you were like, you know what, I'd rather not. I'd rather them just leave because it's not worth my time. It's not worth my energy. You have forgiven them because you don't want to seek revenge. You don't want to go back on them. You don't want to fight them. You don't want to go hurt them. You don't want to give them the same pain that you had to heal from, because you're like, I see what this does. I don't want to inflict the same pain on someone. That's how you know you've forgiven them. But what is the thing that is more difficult when it comes to forgiveness is the healing. It's the healing. Because what happens is, although we can mentally forgive somebody, the pain that they gave us, the trauma, the anger, the hurt, all of the pain that they gave us, that's energy. Everything is energy, remember? So when that energy is in your body, remember that energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transferred. Those people transferred their negative energy onto you. They essentially made their energy become your energy. So that's why when you look back at some of the situations in your life and you're like, and you think of, you're feeling all of this anger, you're feeling all of this frustration. And then when you sit with yourself and you're like, where is this anger coming from? You realize it's not even coming from you. It's coming from another person that was angry and throwing that energy onto you. It's like thinking about that abusive parent, that abusive partner of yours, those abusive friends, those people that were bullies. You know what I'm saying? That's their anger, and they threw that energy onto you. Not all of your anger is your anger. Not all of your pain is your pain. Sometimes you're carrying the pain of someone else because they threw that energy onto you, and you did not know how to protect yourself from that energy. You did not know how to shield yourself from that energy. And especially as an empath, you absorb energy so tightly. And in the past, if you were an unaware empath, or you didn't really know you didn't know about protecting your energy, like putting on the armor of God every single day from head to toe, from the helmet of salvation down to the shoes of peace, to the breastplate, to the sword of truth, putting on the full armor of God, asking God for protection, asking God to cover you with the blood of Yahshua, to cover you. That's a prayer that we pray every day. When you pray, God, cover me from head to toe with the blood of your son, Yahshua. Please shield me with the armor of God. Any attack is going to bounce off of you. But in the past, because you are so sensitive to energies and you did not pray, you did not have God shield your energy and then put the blood of Jesus all, like Yahshua, all over you. That is why that energy seeped into you, and it got to your aura, and it tainted your aura. It tainted your energy field. So now you're walking around with all of this emotion, and you're like, where is this coming from? And it's probably because that energy has not been released. How do you release it? I'm getting to it right now, baby. Thank you for the question. How do we release this energy? Good question. Great question. How do we release it? You have to feel it, baby. My lash is kind of funny. These are strips. They ain't the individuals. They don't look too hot right now. But anyway, it ain't about my appearance, about the word we're talking about. But to release the energy is you have to feel it and then let it go. But that's the big part about healing that a lot of us avoid, because the soul never forgets what you have gone through. So when you're thinking about that traumatic situation that you have been through, when that emotion starts coming up to the surface, a lot of times we don't want to feel it. We want to suppress it. We want to distract it. We want to run from it. You can run from yourself, but you cannot hide from yourself. You can try to distract yourself all you want to, run from it all you want to, but it's going to come back up. It's going to be visible. It's going to be right there. You're going to have to see it, right? So what we have to do is, when we realize that, you know what? Mentally, I've forgiven them, but why do I still feel so much resentment? Why do I still feel so much pain? Because you have to heal the energy. The forgiveness is one part. We talk about forgiveness, and we talk about, like, forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. Forgiveness is for you. It's for you to have peace. But still, at the end of the day, baby, they caused you pain. They caused you trauma. They inflicted that energy, and now it's in your spirit. Now it's in your soul. Now it's attached to your aura. You have to release that energy. You have to cleanse your energy. You can cleanse your energy with smoke cleansing. I'll show you. You can get stuff like incense, right? Oh, shoot. Incense. Or you can use sage. I don't have any more sage. I got to get some more, or else I would have shown you. But you can get stuff like this. You get you some sage. I mean, sage is one. That's what they really want you to get. Or incense. Or you can use both. Incense. You can do the same thing with this incense. You could do the same thing with your sage. You could just sage your body. You see how I'm using the smoke across my whole body, cleansing this, everything, starting with the crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral, and then the root chakra. That's that's one form of you can cleanse your energy, using sage, using incense. Another thing, going outside in nature, being near nature, because nature itself is healing. Nature is cleansing. When you are spending time in nature, you feel the energy releasing off of you. Another thing is salt baths. If you ever know, like, taking a bath with Epsom salt and it's like some lavender oil, the salt itself is going to release that negative toxins off of you, right? cleansing your energy. Another thing that you can do is you can affirm it to yourself. You can say, I call all of my power back from that situation. All of the anger that these people threw on me, I return it back to sender. Return the energy back to sender. Call your power back. That's why a lot of us around here now, we are holding on to so much energy and pain that is not, it's not all ours. Some of it is ours. Majority of it is ours. I will say that. Some of it is not. And when you recognize those moments when that's not your energy and it's from somebody else, return that energy back to sender, because they had no business throwing their energy on you. They had no business doing that. Return it back to sender, because they need to deal with their own anger. They need to deal with their own emotions the same way that you got to deal with yours, because you know that it's not right for you to go project your energy and your anger and pain and hurt onto other people and hurt other people just because you are hurt. You know that that's wrong. So why should you have to accept it from other people? No, just because you are a high vibrational being, just because you are an empath, just because you are spiritual, just because you are an earth angel, light worker, whatever the case is, starseed, does not mean that you have to put up with the BS. And a lot of times people gaslight spiritual people and they tell you like, oh, well, that's not being spiritual because you don't want to be around certain people. That's not being spiritual. Who are they to tell you what's spiritual now when they are not even spiritual themselves? They so wrapped up in the matrix, so wrapped up into that religion. Those same people that have the most to say to you don't even pick up a Bible unless they are in church. They don't even pray. They don't even self-reflect. So who are they to tell you that that's gaslighting? And a lot of times people think that just because you're spiritual or that you're holy and divine, that they think that you're supposed to be a doormat. That's not what that means. No, love your neighbor as yourself, but to not also allow other people to treat you that way. You are God's child. You are God's creation, God's masterpiece. Why would you sit up there, you knowing you God's child, sit there and take all of this abuse? No, because you deserve love. You deserve peace. And if someone's giving you hatred and pain, walk away, because that's the devil. Walk away, because that's that devilish energy. A lot of people have demons running all up through them. Demons in your family members, demons in your parents, demons in your siblings, demons in your children, for those of you that have children, demons in your friends, demons in your cousins, demons in your neighbors, all of that energy. And they want to try to latch on to other people that are of high vibration. No, baby. So what we got to do in order to help to heal and release this energy is when those emotions come up, as difficult as it may be, baby, sit with them. Just sit with them. Even if you can have moments, I'll show you something that I do personally. I may do something where I will like place my hands, one hand on my heart and one hand right here, like from the root to your sacral to your solar plexus chakra. Like those are your solid chakras right here. Just sit there and just, as you're feeling the pain, just breathe. Just breathe in and out. Just breathe in and out. And what you want to do is, as you're allowing yourself to process this emotion, allowing yourself to feel this emotion, you are also giving yourself the peace and at the same time, simultaneously. So as you're feeling this emotion, you're allowing that energy to be in motion, and now you're allowing this energy to be transferred, and you're allowing to transfer it out of your body, out of your mouth. So inhale and exhale out of your mouth. A lot of times what needs to happen is, if you feel a lot of energy or anger and all of that just stirred up within you, it's probably an indication that you may just need to take a huge deep breath, a huge release. Just release that energy out of you, you know? So, yeah. Wave check. Sorry, I'm straight up bald. I ain't got no waves no more, baby. But anyway, that's what I've realized, is that a lot of times we do forgive the people that have hurt us, but we still have to work through the pain, work through the emotion, process through that, still heal the pain that they have caused us. That's what's going to release it. Because a lot of times we think, oh, we just have to forgive them and mentally forgive them. But if the pain is still there, that is an indication that you have not processed the energy. That energy is still stagnant in your spirit, in your soul, and you have to release it. A lot of times, a lot of the heaviness that we feel is from the pain of our past, from the pain and the trauma that's within our spirit. It's like everything is energy. Everything is energy. Love is energy. Love is the most powerful energy, the most powerful highest vibration. Love is the highest frequency. When you feel love, you know what love feels like. When you feel hatred, you know what that feels like. It's like, listen, when you see how strong love is and how amazing that is, you feel that in your energy, right? The same exact way, this hatred, this pain, when that gets in your energy, that's heavy. It's heavy. It makes you sick. It makes you feel weak. It makes you just feel, you got to release that energy. A lot of times we think about, oh, forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. It's not always about the forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness is important, but what's really, really most important is the healing. Though, when you heal, you have to feel the emotion, deal with the emotion, release it and let it go. That is how you heal. And that is what a lot of us need to do. That is what and this is why I speak so much about healing, because a lot of times, back in church, and this is why I left the church, because they talk about forgiveness, forgive your enemies, but they don't teach you about healing. They don't teach you about how you got to work through that emotion. They don't teach you how you got to go through that, rigorous, unpleasant part of your healing journey. That's not pretty. That's the ugly part of the journey. That's the part that a lot of people avoid. But without that, you won't be free. Because you can forgive that person mentally. But unless you deal with that pain, unless you release that pain, you won't be free. You are free when you release the pain, when you release the energy. Because that energy ain't been destroyed. You got to transfer it. Alchemize it into power, baby. Alchemize it into power. How do you alchemize your pain into power? With love. Pain plus love equals power. Oh, thank you, Lord, because that was a revelation for myself. Pain plus love equals power. Can somebody put that in the comments, please? Thank you so much. You're welcome, sister. Thank you. Pain plus love equals power. That is how you alchemize your pain into power. You have to love your pain. You have to love yourself through your pain. You have to love the version of yourself that you were when you dealt with that pain. You have to love yourself and see how much stronger you are because of it. You have to see how you are a different person because of that situation. Pain always comes with a lesson. Steve Harvey said, pain comes with the gift. I like that. I'm not going to take his quote, but pain comes with the lesson. When God wants to give you power, God will give you pain. When God wants to give you strength, God will give you pain. So when you go through all of that pain, you realize, God, you were just trying to make me stronger. You were just here to give me more power. You were just trying to strengthen up my spirit and get me more equipped. So I understand why I had to overstep, why I had to go through that pain. And when I see how much wisdom I've gained, what did you learn from that situation? What did you learn from that situation? When that emotion is coming up and you feeling it, you got to think, what did I learn? What is the lesson that I've learned? And when you learn a very powerful lesson, start telling yourself the lesson. And instead of focusing on the pain, instead of affirming the pain, affirm the lesson. Just say, I am so glad that taught me my self-worth. I'm so glad that awoken me to my truth. I am so glad that this made me a lot stronger. I am so glad that this taught me how to stand up for myself. Stuff like that is you focusing on the lesson, you loving, because at that point when you're focusing on the lesson and you're giving love to the situation, you're making light of the situation, that is how you turn that into power. So at that point, when that pain comes back, you don't think of the pain and get yourself all, no. You think of the pain and you think, but look how strong I am though. That's what it is. Your pain was here to make you stronger, baby. The strongest people are the ones that went through the most pain. The brightest people that shine are the ones that went through the most pain. So if you've been going through pain, it's because God's giving you power. It's because God's trying to strengthen you. God's trying to equip you. Your soul has to elevate. Your soul has to evolve. And you have to go through pain in order for this to happen. Right? So if you ever find yourself struggling to forgive someone, think about it. Think, is it that I need to forgive them mentally? Or do I still have to process the pain that they've caused me? And that's a very powerful question to ask yourself, to self-reflect. Have I not forgiven them mentally? Or do I still need to work through the pain that they've caused me? And a lot of times it's the latter. Because you can forgive but not work through that pain. Once you work through that pain and you release it, those people you won't even worry about those people anymore. Because you have to work through the pain. That's the healing process. But a lot of times, you see, a lot of us, the stuff that we've been through, we have gone through so much in our life, so much pain in our life. Hey, cousin. We've gone through so much in our life, so much pain in our life that we think we don't want to go face the pain again. We don't want to go relive that emotion. We don't want to go, We don't want to feel the same pain that we felt then now. But we got to realize that us feeling that emotion is what's going to help us to release it, what's going to help us to heal. And that's why a lot of times when we think that if all we do is forgive somebody, that we're going to be fine, but you're still holding on to that pain. You're walking around carrying that heavy weight. You're wondering why you're irritable, why you're feeling some type of way. You're wondering where this coming from, baby, because you still got that anger that's left within you. Once you deal with that anger, those people won't even cross your mind no more. Why are those people still crossing your mind? Because the emotion is still within your spirit. You got to heal that. I understand. I've been there. It's some stuff that happened to me 4-5 years ago. And I'm sitting here thinking like, I've forgiven these people. Why am I still pissed? You have to heal that pain. You got to deal with some of that emotion. So it's been times these past few days, I've been having to like the most uncomfortable, humiliating, mortifying situations that I've been with these people. I just sat there and felt it. I just sat there and dealt with it. And I was empowering myself through it. That's how I felt that I really worked through that situation. Now, the situation I'm talking about, these people had multiple situations of them causing me trauma. So that's several situations that I had to go feel that pain. Of course, I don't want to. Of course, I realize how painful it was. I don't want to relive it, but I know that I deserve to be free. I deserve to have peace. I don't want to carry that weight. I don't want to carry that pain that those people done caused me because I really don't give a flying... No, I'm not going to curse. I'm going to cut this live off. I don't give a flying F what they think about me or how they feel about me. I don't want them in my life anymore. But I do not want to hold on to this pain, this resentment towards them because that's only hurting me at the end of the day. And I feel a lot of you out here may feel the same exact way that I'm feeling. Holding on to some pain that some party have or people have caused you in the past. Nah, baby. They had no right mistreating you. They had no right treating you the way that they did. Your trauma ain't your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. You know that's your responsibility. Take that initiative. Your best revenge is healing. Your best revenge is showing people that all of the pain that they threw on you, you still got back up. Your best revenge is the same people that knocked you down and kicked you while you was down, sees you walking, standing strong and tall, you know, chest out, chin up, shoulders back. That is your best revenge right there. You ain't got to go seek revenge. Don't become like the people that hurt you. Become better than that. Become stronger. Become more empowered. Realize, you know what? Now I see why. You know what happens when people don't want to heal themselves? This is how they treat people. Let that be another reason as to why you want to go heal yourself. So you ain't finna be like those people. Because if you continue to hold on to that pain, it's going to fester. It's going to cause resentment. And eventually, the longer you hold on to that pain, it's going to start to come out. And you're going to start to become a totally different person. And you don't want to become like the person that you were before this. You don't want to go back down that path. The only way out is through. This healing journey ain't for the weak, but it's worth it. It's worth it because the you that's on the other side of it can't even compare to the you in the past. Those same people can't even reach you no more. Like an eagle soaring. You know, eagles can fly very, very tall, very, very high in the sky. Crows cannot. Crows cannot. So what'll happen is, let's say a crow is on this eagle's wings and messing with him, right? Instead of the eagle fighting with this crow, what the eagle does is he just soars. She soars up high, high, high. Now, because the eagle is equipped to handle strong winds up there, high in the sky. A crow is not equipped enough. A crow does not have the same strength. A crow is not built to last up. Oh, come on. A crow is not built to last up there in those heights. An eagle is. So what the eagle does is the eagle knows that because the crow can't last up here, let me just keep on elevating. What's going to happen is that a crow is eventually not going to have enough oxygen and the crow is going to fall. Or the crow may not breathe and jump off and jump back down and fly back down, because if it stays up there, it'll fall and it'll coffin. They don't want that. So in the same context, this analogy, those people, those low vibrational people that's trying to attack you and keep you down and hold you down, you continue to rise up. You rise above it. You continue to raise your vibration. You continue to be stronger. You continue to heal. You allow yourself to be brighter, because the higher you rise, they won't be able to reach you anymore. They can't even get to that level. So you raise your vibration and rise so high that your enemies can't even touch you no more. Your enemies can't even reach you no more. Your enemies can't even give you a high five. They can't even see you because you so high up. That's your best revenge. Is to not even focus on them, but to focus all on you, baby. I get it. We got to let it go. We got to release them. We got to let it go. But it's easier said than done. I know a lot of people tell me, let it go, release it. I get it. Okay, but teach us how to release it. Feel the pain. Feel the pain no matter how uncomfortable it is. But love yourself through it. Give yourself the space. Give yourself the security. Give yourself the comfort. Let yourself know you are safe with me. You are safe to feel this emotion. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to be here with you. Give yourself a hug. I guarantee you, giving yourself a hug feels so good. That nurture, that love that you need, give that to you. That's how you heal. That's how you heal. Yeah, baby, it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be painful. When you got to feel that emotion, you're going to bring out some ugly parts of you, baby. You're going to have moments when you're going to get to shedding tears so much. You're going to, baby, I had made a video about this where I said, allow yourself to mourn. Allow yourself to mourn. A lot of you are carrying so much pain and weight. Allow yourself to just weep, to just sob, to just give yourself a good cry. Allow yourself to mourn what has happened to you. If situations happened to you in the past and at the time you just kind of just brushed it under the rug and you didn't deal with the emotion, if it's coming up to the surface now, allow yourself to mourn. If you didn't allow yourself to mourn back then, give yourself that time now. Because when you let out that good cry, when you allow yourself to weep, you are cleansing your soul. Crying is cleansing. Crying is healing. And that Tyler Perry movie, Cicely Tyson, she said crying cleanses the soul. You are not weak for crying. You are human. Humans cry, right? So are we going to tell a baby when they first pop out the womb that they're weak because they cry? No, babies cry. We said that all the time, right? Babies cry. Babies don't know how to speak yet. So their communication is through crying, right? Are we going to call a baby weak? Or are we going to know that that's what a baby does? So why are we any different, us as humans? We were once a baby. We all were a baby first, right? None of us is Kyle XY from ABC Family. We were all once a baby. So the same way that they cry, we can cry too. Crying is not a weakness. Crying is a sign of strength. Crying is something that's normal. Crying is as common as breathing. Crying is as common as taking a dump or taking a tinkle. Crying is as common as sneezing and coughing. That is how common crying is. But a lot of times what has happened is maybe people in your past, authority figures, caregivers, maybe they could not handle your emotion. Maybe when you were crying, they did not know how to handle you. They did not know how to emotionally support you. So they just kind of brushed you aside. And that made you think that you were a crybaby or you were too much or whatever the case was, or people made fun of you because you cried. All because they probably, one, either did not know how to help you, or two, they saw a reflection of themselves in you. They saw somebody that was bold enough to be vulnerable, and they know that they're not bold enough to be vulnerable, so they ridicule you and belittle you. Let yourself cry. Let yourself be emotional. Be like, listen, yes, I'm crying. Yes, I'm sad. Yes, I'm upset. Yes. Don't let nobody make you feel bad for crying. So the next time you get to crying and somebody's trying to make you feel bad, and they say, stop crying. Don't tell me to stop crying. I'm crying because I'm sad. I'm going to let myself cry. You got to advocate for yourself, baby. Because when people said that to you in the past, you weren't strong enough. You didn't have the grown version of you that could defend yourself. But you, baby, you are your own parent. You have to reparent yourself. You are your own mother, your own father, whether you are male or female. If you are female, you are your own mother. If you are male, you are your own father. You have to stand up for yourself and your inner child like you are your own parent. Don't let nobody try to take that away from you. Don't let nobody try to dictate your life. Don't let nobody try to dictate your healings or how you express your emotion. Because that's the problem with this world today. People want to try to tell you how to express your emotion. And now we have people that's emotionally unavailable. We have people that don't know how to be vulnerable. We have people out here that don't know what to do when it comes to being emotional because our people around us made us feel bad for expressing emotion. No, you better understand that in the age of Aquarius, we are going to be wearing our heart on our sleeves. We're going to be showing you how we feel. We are going to be brave enough to be vulnerable. If we going to cry, we going to cry. Everybody going to see us shed tears. We going to cry. We going to be angry, we going to be angry. We going to be sad, we going to be sad. We're not going to hide our emotions. This is how we heal. This is how we change this world. This is how we break these curses. It's to not run from our emotion, but run to them. Oh, come on, Spirit. Come on. Thank you. Don't run away from your emotions. Run to them. Tackle them. Look at your emotions like, okay, you know what? Anger, sadness, anger. You are just sadness underneath all of that. So let's figure out what you're sad about. You know what? Sometimes you really got to just go look at your pain and you got to face that shit head on. You got to be like, Let's go. Boom, boom. Like, you know, like a quarterback about to take off, right? You really got to take charge and go into it. The only way out is through. I need some water. Hold on. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Listen, some people talking about they feel like they can't cry anymore. That's what happens when you get emotionally numb. When you feel like you want to cry, but you feel like you can't, like you physically can't, that means you have gotten numb. And the way for you to become unnumb and to soften yourself up, to break down those walls and to allow yourself to be emotional, is you're going to have to step into your feminine energy. Your feminine energy is in a state of a receiving where it's not about it's not about doing, it's about being. Your feminine energy is about being. It's about relaxing. It's about slowing down. It's about being present. It's about being observant. It's about being present with your thoughts, not distracting yourself from your thoughts. That's you stepping into your feminine energy. As you step into your feminine energy, you're breaking down those walls. You're allowing yourself to be more vulnerable. Excuse me, sorry. Confirmation burp. You're allowing yourself to be more vulnerable. Thus, now that you done break those walls down, it's kind of like peeling layers off of an onion. Once you break those walls down and you allow yourself to be a little softer in your feminine energy, those emotions will easily come up. I promise you. I promise you. If you feel like, there's another revelation. If you feel like you cannot cry, or you feel like you want to cry but you physically cannot, you're too much in your masculine energy, baby. You got to shift out of your masculine energy and into your feminine energy, because we have both. It's about the balance. You need to be in your feminine energy more when it comes to your healing. Your masculine energy when it comes time to like do the work and take initiative and take action. But when it's the healing, when it's the nurturing of yourself and loving yourself, you got to step into that feminine energy. Because when you're in your feminine energy, she wants to nurture. Feminine wants to nurture and love and care and give compassion. So when you're thinking of those situations, you're going to give yourself that empathy and that compassion. Step into your feminine energy. And for those of you that feel like you've been doing the best that you can, that you have been releasing that emotion, that is wonderful. That's good. That means that you're healing. That means that you're healing. And please, if you feel like you've been crying a lot, please stay hydrated, okay? Drink a lot of water, because what you're doing is crying puts a lot of strain on your brain. It puts a lot of strain on your brain. It gives you a headache. You ever notice when you cry a lot, you get a headache? I'm telling you, baby, I was there a couple of weeks ago. I allowed myself to weep and mourn, and I cried so hard. After that, I had a headache. I had to take me an ibuprofen. But I felt so much better afterwards because I felt that release. So recognize that, recognize that your crying is your healing. You feeling that emotion is your healing. It is not always crying though. Sometimes your emotion, you want to let some anger out. Sometimes you really just feel like you need to punch. Do this. Come over here and just get to punching, like just boom, bop, bop, bop. Like sometimes you got to just, look, you got to just be like, you know, I'm telling you. Sometimes you really got to do that. Sometimes you really got to do that, because it's like you want to fight a person, but you can't fight a person. So just pretend that pillow is that person and just let it out, because what you're doing, baby, is you're releasing the energy, you're releasing the pain, you're releasing all of that anger, but no one's getting hurt. No one's getting hurt. You're not hurting another person, and you're not harming yourself, because a lot of times when people deal with all of this pain and this anger, that's why they self-harm. That's why they may do this, whatever the case is. Or even if they may start doing this, like hitting themselves, self-harming. You don't want to hurt yourself either. Use an inanimate object. Why do you think boxers or people like that, they have punching bags, physical punching bags, to help them learn how to punch? Because they're punching and they're gaining that strength, but no one's getting hurt. So what has to happen is, when you're healing, your healing does not have to be pretty. Your healing does not have to look all peachy keen and rainbows. Your healing does not have to be all pleasant all the time, because healing is not always going to be pleasant. You have to allow yourself to allow your healing to be as unpleasant as it needs to be. with yourself. As long as you are not going out of your way to hurt yourself, because this is not giving you the green light to go off and go curse somebody out and go be mean to somebody just because you're healing. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that, because nobody gets to do that to you. So when I say as unpleasant as it needs to be, that means with yourself, when you are in the quiet place, when it's just you and God, and you just in that room by yourself. Baby, if you got to scream, if you got to wail, let it out. If you got to cry, if you got to weep, let it out. If you got to fall on the floor and be in fetal position, if you got to punch something, let it out. Don't hold yourself back from how you want to release your emotion. Don't hold yourself back from how you want to release that energy. Don't hold yourself back. Because when you hold yourself back, you're suppressing. When you allow it to come out, you feel much better. You feel empowered. You ever realize, I guarantee you, baby, I'm telling you, if you feel like you pissed right now, if you feel like you angry right now, when you get off this live, I want you to get yourself a pillow, and I want you to beat the fuck out of that pillow. And I want you to release all of that anger. And then I want you to see how better you feel after that. That adrenaline rush that you got, that dopamine kick in that you got, that feel good hormone. You feel good, right? But you also healed yourself in the mix of that. You also released that energy. You're now energetically lighter now. See what I'm saying? It ain't always about just, oh, forgive. Yes, forgive. But it's also about heal the pain. Deal with the pain. Feel the pain. To release the pain. That's how we heal. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to this rant, this speech that I was talking about. I really, really hope that I've helped somebody out here with this message, because the wisdom that I was gaining as I was sitting here talking to myself, I'm like, other people need to hear this. So I really, really hope that this helped you. I hope that you take heed to this word. And I hope that when you start continuing on your healing journey, that you ask yourself that question. Is it me needing to mentally forgive them, or do I have some unresolved energy and pain that I need to work through and process and release? You got to ask yourself that question. You got to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. And when you're honest with yourself and you're like, you know what, it's still some pain that I have within me that I haven't healed yet. Bingo, we have a winner. Wonderful. Now go do that. You got to be you got to be your biggest cheerleader. You have to be your biggest advocator. Right? And also remember that, you know, sometimes it can be both. Sometimes it can be both. And that's when you have to realize that it's going to require more internal work than just you mentally forgiving them. It's going to take you actually spiritually forgiving them, spiritually releasing that pain, right? Because all of it exists within your, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Release that energy from your spirit. That's what we got to do. Just don't forget that the major part about your healing is feeling and releasing the energy, right?